why did I get a Chromebook and a MacBook? I can explain. So, before we go too crazy with this video and everything, the main thrust of this, okay, is that essentially I wanted to check out the Chrome OS and Mac OS, and I wanted a cheap way to do that. So I got a couple of cheap laptops to check those out. And you're also probably a little worried because you're seeing part one on this, and you're like, well, what's going on? This is already however long. That's only part one. So the thing with that is, basically, part one here is going to be just looking at these two a little bit, basically why I'm doing this experiment, what it is, what laptops I picked, and kind of why, some stuff about these in particular, and then it's just kind of a multi-part thing where part two is going to be actually first impressions after a few weeks or a month or something using them, and then probably part three is going to be my thoughts after roughly a year of using these. So the main thing is checking out the operating systems and checking out things that laptops that aren't by HP. Getting away from Windows and HP, which is what I've used kind of forever. So hopefully the timestamps will make this video a little interesting if you want. And also I'm making it a multi-part thing because I want to be like, okay, give you guys some time to give me some tips and tricks, suggestions, recommendations for, settings and apps and things to do with machines like these, as somebody who is a new user to these things, to help me, figure things out, maybe things you're curious about. Obviously these aren't the most, aren't the newest, most up-to-date things, not the most powerful things, but they're a start. And like I said, hopefully the timestamps and stuff will help you navigate this video if you just want to see these particular things or something, and hopefully people want to join in and be part of the experience. If not, then it's just me. That's okay too. I can live with that. I've lived through worse versions of just being... my whole channel is just me, a lot of times talking to probably nobody else, but almost nothing has no views. I think I had one video have one view for the longest time, so somebody clicks on it, okay? Eventually somebody, whether it's a mistake or not, they got on the weird side of YouTube. Oh no, I tripped and smashed on my keyboard and I landed there with the URL after I got up off my keyboard and hit enter. You got there. I got a view. So it's not necessarily to no one, even if effectively it is going to do the same as that. So let's start with the lore. So basically, I've always kind of gotten HP laptops for my laptops, and this all really started in 2019 when I got a mid-range HP laptop. It was I don't remember what the whole model or anything was, but I did do a lot of research on the parts and stuff with it to get a decent one, and that worked pretty much fine until about it was probably spring of 2022. And then it developed a really annoying and concerning fan sound. At least I assume it was the fan. And it just kind of got worse and worse until about, around September, October of 22, I got this laptop. This is the HP Spectre X360. You can look up all the specs and stuff on this, but this is not a cheap laptop, nor is it an underpowered laptop or anything. This is a powerful thing. It's got an Intel Arc dedicated graphics chip in it. It's got a 32 gigs of RAM. It's got an OLED screen. It's just this big honking thing. It's all metal case and everything. And it looks nice, feels nice. And so far, it's been pretty good. This is about a year later. This is in September of 2023. I'm recording this, and did pretty good. But it hasn't been without its problems either, which is why I'm a little irked about this. And I this is why I'm also kind of considering, do I want to go HP again in the future when their high-end thing has had issues within the first year? Not a lot of them. Not a lot of issues. Most of these have been fixable, except for the only thing I haven't fixed yet is my webcam doesn't work now. And I mean, I don't know. Like I've done updates and things with. I've tried, there's Windows updates. I've done BIOS updates. I've done the hardware utility checker thing. I've done tests with that. I've done, with the drivers. I've tried, updating them, rolling them back, deleting and reinstalling. I've tried looking for them specifically online. I've done basically everything I can do to try and fix the webcam on here that was working fine, and then decided to just stop working. And as far as I could tell, the only way I could get it fixed now is to send it in to get, a repair on a webcam that I don't really need, but it would be nice to have it in something that I paid this much fucking money for. It shouldn't have died within a year, that webcam. So that's frustrating, and I don't want to send my computer away and not have my main machine for a while right now if I don't have, everything else seems to work fine and I like it. So I also like the idea of having a backup machine, but I can never really have that because all my computers explode. They have problems. There's a reason I keep upgrading computers. My old laptop, I tried opening it up to diagnose some of the problem myself, and basically what happened with that was, I don't know what was wrong with it. It looked fine. The battery was bulging, so that was also an issue. I'd have to replace the battery. I could maybe replace the fan, but it looked fine. I put some foam in there around where the heatsink, because that looked like that was maybe loose, and maybe that was like rattling or something when the fan revved up. Maybe that was the sound, but it didn't really fix the issue. So if I tried to fix that, it would have been like $100 to try and fix it, if that was the problem, and that's if it would continue to work after that. If other components wouldn't just crap out also. So I did actually cut my losses on that, and so I don't have that computer anymore, and that's what really drove me into this idea of checking out a couple of these computers. So we'll kind of start there. Let's start with the Chromebook. No one will tell I edited that if I did. This one, again, is a big part of this is I wanted to, I got Lenovo here, so I wanted to get not HP. I had a Lenovo briefly when one of my HP laptops died. So I had one of those as a used one, but it was old and not up to snuff at that point because it was like, using a 2012 model that was already used in 2016 or something, 15, something like that. So it was a little bit aging at that point already. But this, I was interested in Chrome OS, like I say, but also I like the idea of having something, this is a bit smaller one too, but like something for a side computer and a backup computer. A backup computer in the sense that, like, if I had to send my main computer out to do something, or there's problems with it, or I'm looking for a new one or something, in the interim, I have this to do some basic stuff with. I can still check the web, watch YouTube, do, Discord calls. You can run a few apps on here, so I can still post some stuff on socials. I could do text documents and stuff. I just want to write those. Don't want to have to, use my main rig for all of that. So I like the idea of having one of these, and this is a smaller one too. I kind of wanted that. I think I have the on my phone. I have the store stuff, whatever, to see all the specs. Because let's see, this is a Lenovo. See if we get this right. The Lenovo, the 300E Chromebook is the second gen. And one of the things I looked up too is that when I was looking at these, originally I was seeing a bunch of these, like, this was $100 that it cost me about. I was originally seeing Chromebooks like for $60. I was like, whoa, that sounds like super cheap. That's great. The problem is you got to be careful when you're looking for these. You want to go and check the model on. There's like somewhere on Google's Google site where you can check. All of these have a built-in expiration date. Apparently, they know as soon as the thing comes out that they're going to support it for however long. So they'll give you the date where it's called like an auto update expiration or something like that. Where basically you can use it for however long, and that's when you'll have to upgrade it because it'll stop getting updates. So certain apps will kind of stop working without the proper version of Chrome OS, and of course there's no more security updates, so it'll be a little scarier if you keep using it and you're worried about that. So I wanted to get one that would last me at least a year, and I don't actually have offhand, I don't remember how long this one lasts. I didn't look that back up, it'll last at least a year for this experiment, so we're good there. But I don't remember if this is Super new. This is also renewed, so like you might be able to see a little bit of like smudges there on the top. I don't know if that's going to come in on the cam there. You can see little spots, but it's in pretty good condition, and everything. For the specs here, just if you're curious, I did look up a thing for this. Yeah, I don't know if that mattered. The MediaTek 8173C 2.1 gigahertz processor. Obviously it's running Chrome. And it's an 11.6 inch. So it's a small one here, which is kind of wanted that. It's a 1366 by 768 IPS multi-touch anti-glare. So it is touchscreen, so you can do like Android apps. Some of the older ones don't do Android apps. This will run some things. And remember, it's got 4 gigs of LPDDR3, 1866 megahertz soldered. I'm going to pretend I understand that too. It says battery is supposed to be up to 10 hours. Storage is 32 gigs eMMC. So, maybe not a ton of storage there, but you can expand it. The graphics is the MediaTek thing. It's integrated. It's got 720p HD cam with integrated microphone. Yeah. And then, I don't know, weight 2.9 pounds. I never know. Well, it's got Bluetooth 4.1. I never know how heavy something's going to actually feel just by a number. It's also got 802.11 AC connectivity for this is 2x2. I think that's the internet thing. Got 2-watt speakers. Somewhere I don't really know where the speakers are on this. I think maybe these things on the back are the speakers. Like they're kind of on the bottom though, so like sound is a little like probably gonna be weird with that. If you set it down, you're not gonna hear that. You can probably see some of a little bit of the scuffs and stuff down there on this side of it too. So it's not like it's obviously not brand new, but that's okay. And anything else here? Yeah, it's got a USB-C for the power. I don't know if you can plug anything into that for data stuff. It's got USB 3.0, HDMI, which I'm kind of surprised there's an HDMI out. That's got the SD card reader. It's got the combo mic, mic and audio jack. It's got the lock slot. I've never used a lock on anything, but you can totally use the lock there. The ports on the side and stuff. Weird. It does have like a little volume thing on there, but there's also volume keys on it. Yeah, anything else to look there? No, that's all I need to really look at, I think, for that. So that's the rundown of the specs. Very interesting. It's got this like kind of like rubbery stuff around here. It feels really nice. And it's got the rubber feet on it and stuff too. All this stuff, like I said, it's in pretty good condition. It's a Amazon renewed thing. And then we're gonna open it up, and I think it automatically turns on when you do this, even though I'd have it set to be off right now. It's got the basic, touchpad thing. No extra buttons for it. You have to kind of tap on it to do it. But weirdly, I also noticed the keys are lowercase, and I'm like, I don't know if other things are always lowercase, but I think they're usually uppercase for keys. So it's weird that it's lowercase. I don't know if you can see it on here too. There's a little like, you can't really see it unless something's there really. There is like a little bright spot on the screen on this one. I don't know, that it's not a huge deal, but I did notice that because I did set this up already before shooting this because I couldn't wait. I don't know how much of that smudging on there is me or was already there. A lot of it's probably me from finger grease because they probably cleaned it up and it's just going to look gross anyways. That's just going to happen, but at least it's not a huge fingerprint magnet for the rest of it. It's got kind of like a texture on here. But the keys feel decent and everything. And just, yeah. It's, can I do that? Get a better shot of the keys? Not really. Because that's over there. But, does that help? Maybe a little. Yeah, so there's not a lot to look at or anything there, but the big things for, it's like, why a Chromebook also is, yeah, just having it on the side. It'll be nice to watch YouTube videos on, like, gaming or something, and I have to pull my other computer over or just call people or something real quick if I want to check emails. It seems like a fun thing if I want to travel somewhere. Like, I could travel a lot, but if you want to do that, you could take it with you and, like, just do a quick like, oh, type some stuff up, do some emails, check some things, and it's a smaller, lighter thing to throw in your bag. You don't really worry as much because you're not out as much money if you lose it or it gets stolen, it gets broken, whatever. So especially if you already use a bunch of Google services and stuff, you already got this. And like I said, Lenovo, so it's not HP. So hopefully, better luck with that. So I'm excited to give you some first impressions on this because I feel like I'm forming lots of thoughts already. Pretty excited to play around with this more, check out what I could do with the Android apps and other things, and report back on the quality of it, even though this isn't the newest or brand new or anything or the highest spec thing. If you're looking for really awesome specs, you're probably not looking at a Chromebook anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. Now we have the MacBook, which I got for, this is again a refurbished one for about $200. This is trying to identify which exact kind of one it is, and I found it online here if I can find it. The MacBook Air. It's an early 2015 one, 11-inch. So a Core i5 processor, 1.6 gigahertz i5. Apparently originally came out in March 2015, and got 4 gigs of RAM, 1.5 gigs of VRAM. I believe this one is 128 gigs of internal storage, so a lot more than the Chromebook has. And that's kind of all I had for the main specs there, I think. I click this so I see more about it. I haven't done this before. That's maybe all I need to look at, huh? Yeah, a lot of other stuff here that I don't really know about. But you can probably look up specs on one of these anyways. So, the interest in this came more from stuff with my phone as well. Because I know my phone doesn't play nice with Windows, and so I figured, well, it'd be cool to check out, one of these Macs. I've been hearing really good things about these newer MacBooks with the M1 chip in them. That they're really efficient with power, so they don't get really hot, and you can just run them, and it'll be, basically they're pretty powerful for what they are, without having to have a fan and stuff. They perform pretty good, and the big thing with these also, because the Chromebooks also, they said they're not really gaming machines. You don't game on them much. They're not built for that unless it's cloud gaming. I've heard that Macs are pretty bad for gaming as well. I have consoles. I have a Steam Deck. I'll be fine. I can play games on those. That'll be fine. I'm really looking at something like one of these for basically video editing and maybe streaming the stuff. And I've heard they're really good for that stuff, so getting one that's just spec'd for it would be cool. One that works with my phone, so I can record videos and stuff with my phone and integrate it with this right away. Excited to check out iMovie, even though I do have that on my iPhone also. I could probably be easier to edit and do things on an actual computer screen. Although I guess, I don't know, this is an iPhone 14. This is probably potentially more powerful than this thing at this point, but I guess I don't know how it compares in every way. But looking at one of these was going to be an idea for checking out if I want to get an actual one. I really just want to familiarize myself with Mac OS a little bit and get a little into it. This has a nice texture on the front here. It's like that. The front looks great. This lights up, and I was like, why do they put a light here? But I think it's just backlight from the actual screen. You see a little bit of wear and tear on the sides, a little bit, but not a lot. If it'll focus on that, I don't know if it will. That's a Thunderbolt 2 port, I believe. So it's a little dated in that Thunderbolt 2, nothing really uses that anymore. Everything uses 3 and 4 for like USB-C compatibility as well. You can see some of the little nicks on the side of this too. They haven't totally gotten out, but it still has a headphone jack, so it's it's got leagues ahead of the iPhone there, and then it's got this is the charging thing is really weird. It's got like magnet things in it. Interesting. I don't know if that's That's what MagSafe is. So like it pulls out of there rather than pulling your system. It's just, and you can see it's ridiculously thin, and the bottom I think it shows a little bit more. Well, no, not really. The bottom still got, the feet are still in pretty good shape there and stuff. The rubber feet. Yeah, I think some of this little back hinge it's a little chewed up, but it's not like bad. And then open it up, and I don't know if this turns on right away when you do it or not. It looks like it doesn't. It does have a backlit keyboard, which is really nice. I don't know if it has the butterfly thing. I think that wasn't until later, maybe a little bit. So far, the keyboard seems fine, so I guess I don't know. This thing is a little weird in that it's like the touchpad thing is like you know, it's a different kind of touchpad in that like you want to click it down at the bottom and stuff up here. Like you can't just do like the tap in to clicks. You have to like push it in to click it physically. And it's got webcam. And it's yeah, it's really nice looking though. And it's like a lot of this is like aluminum stuff on this. I believe this is like metal case and everything. So yeah, I mean this is really more of an experiment for that, to get an upgrade to this from a main rig so that I'm running on something that can support my needs, and it's made by Apple. So you spend a lot on Apple products, but a lot of times you can get some really good stuff out of them, and especially since my phone has been so nice and easy to use and slick. The idea of using a computer that's that simple and easy to use, and a lot of people said like basically the big thing is that with Mac stuff is that like when like not as many things are supported on it, but when they do work on it, they work really well. So I think I could probably get away with it for the most part. I could either find the same apps or equivalent apps to work with on here, and so I still have a lot of stuff to set up and download on here and get everything prepared. And eventually I have to wipe these anyways, which is sad because they won't last forever. But I think that is everything. I'll hold them this way because it's upside down, but you can read stuff on them so it looks nicer. That is my video part 1. So I want to hear anything you guys have to say about these, because this is going to be a fun experiment for me to check these out and see what they're good at, what they're not. Obviously, again, these aren't going to be the highest spec, awesome models that I might necessarily get if I was looking for a brand new one to fit my needs, my backup / side computer type thing, and my introduction to Mac in general. See if I want to get a real one for my nice computer. Interesting ideas, and especially as a Windows user, getting away from HP, getting away from Windows, seeing what it's like on the other side for a little bit. It's a fun experiment for me. I'm in a place in my life right now where I think it seems fun to check out these different tech. I like tech toys anyways, but checking out stuff like this is really interesting, and it's like diving into like a new world of like, what can you do? What are these good for? Let's not just read about them. Let's try to get into them a bit myself. So any tips, tricks, recommendations, suggestions, all that stuff, share your experiences with different operating systems. Like my main laptop runs Windows 11, so I'm up to date there. But yeah, this is like Mac OS. Like, I think I just updated it to like 12 or something. It's like Monterey, I think it's called. I don't know, whatever Chrome OS this is up to. Supposedly, I would imagine the newest one, if it's probably supposed to be, until they're gonna stop supporting it. So that's my rant, my ramble. This is my part 1. Look forward to part 2. But potentially, featuring some of your thoughts and suggestions and things from the comments. If you get those in before I get that recorded and up, and see what you guys have to say. Hopefully, you have fun. Go on this journey with me. Yeah, we'll see where it takes us, or if I'll just end up being a big old boring idiot, and just going back to getting HP laptops with Windows on it after this. It's very possible. It's very possible. I'm very stubborn and adverse to change, but we'll see. We will see.